Hello, hello, hello. My name is Gestalt, and welcome to the stream. Tonight, I'll be doing something different. You might be able to tell by my microphone being different, but tonight I am going to be cooking, for a stream. I'm going to be showing you how to make a honey mustard chicken. Uh, I have a lapel mic on that I got off Amazon for like 20 bucks, so yeah, probably doesn't sound the best, but hopefully it works. And let's. Hello? Hello? Okay, sorry. I completely forgot to add a lapel microphone source to OBS. My bad. Anyway, yes, as I was saying, I made this recipe before. Um, but it is from the Copycat Favorite cookbook. Um, Here's a little image of what it's going to possibly look like when we're done. It's a very simple recipe that you can know. Doesn't take too long to make, doesn't take too much, no real special ingredients. So let's start off with making the sort of sauce. We're gonna start off by combining a third a cup of, oh shit. We're gonna combine a third cup of chicken stock. Gonna do gonna do 3/4 a cup of honey mustard. Let's see. Get do not have a oh shit. Sorry. Looking for a spatula. No, yeah, this will work. One. Need two. And the third one. Uses a lot of honey mustard, but this does make 4 servings. Uh, so, this is good for meal prep in case you are. Can I get this out? In case you want to like meal prep, or if you're wanting to, make something for like a whole group. You'll have plenty here. Oops, sorry. I don't exactly have the best setup right here. Turn this a little bit, so that's right side. Honey mustard. I'm going to need some salt and pepper, and then some nope. Yep, there we go. Salt, and then pepper. Did I bump it again? Yes, I did. Right. Probably should have invested in like proper tripod, or like something that could clip onto cupboard or something. This is not the best setup, but I'll make it. Then going to need a third a cup of or of half and half. Mm, there we go. Okay, that will be the sort of our sauce for the chicken and the onion. That is where all of that is going to sort of simmer in a bit. Not exactly the biggest bowl to mix this in, but that's fine. Mm. Mm-hmm. Doesn't need to be perfectly mixed. It's basically going to be mixed up when you simmer it in the pan with the veggies and chicken. So don't need to be perfectly like homogenized. Oh, that is done. So we can set that aside. Just set it right there. That'll work. Okay. So next we're gonna prep our veggies here. I already washed and peeled the onions, and just going to give a thin slice to these mushrooms. Want to do all the prep you can um, before dealing with like raw foods, raw meats. I mean, just because that way you don't have to worry about like having a cutting board covered in like chicken juice or anything, and then needing to switch over in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be good. I would say how thin you slice the mushrooms doesn't exactly matter. They're going to be like stewed in the sauce anyway, so like they'll be pretty like mushy. Not mushy, but like it won't matter if it's in like too big of chunks, I would say. Obviously you're gonna want like thinner slices, just so that way you don't have like a big bite of onion or mushrooms even that you're biting into. Yeah, that's something. It's an idea that seems pretty simple that you would want to think about. Like, it seems pretty simple to think about now, but definitely an idea I had to learn in culinary school was the idea of just like think about how big a bite you would want something to be when chopping it. Just because, like, if something's going in like a stew or something like that, you might not want to worry about chopping it too finely or like leaving big chunks. But if it's like a side dish, then yeah, you might want to think about, do I want to leave it in larger chunks? Or do I want it to be like baby food? You know? Like, it's just kind of the intent of the dish, I guess I would say. Say you have to learn that because it's just like a lot of times, dishes will say, oh, finely diced or large chunks or whatever, just quarter or whatever. Sometimes you have to think about like, okay, what does this recipe actually want of me? How do I actually want to cut these? Especially when you're having to just like throw something together. Okay, that is our vegetables up. Okay, 3 dishes. Get out of the way. That way we don't have to worry about them like at all. Check something real quick. Yes. Okay, yeah, my microphone is on. Never be too sure about that kind of stuff. That way. Now we can get into our chicken and proper cooking. So, gonna get that turned on to about a medium heat. And then we're gonna be taking care of the chicken. We're starting the chicken part of our honey mustard chicken. Gonna try and get this off. Uh, okay, that's a bunch of fucking slime. Okay. Well, um, hmm. Yeah, that's the best I can do is just drain off the excess and hope to God it doesn't fucking spread salmonella all over the goddamn house. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah. Okay, so the recipe calls for 4 chicken breasts. My grocery store did not have 4 chicken. Oh, sorry. My grocery store did not have packages of just like 4. It was always just like 5 or 6. Oh, this one didn't decide to explode on me. 5 or 6. So I went with smaller breasts that are going to be just 6 breasts that are smaller. Also, like with the dish, because you're going to be serving just one like whole chicken breast with vegetables and a side, it is better to have a smaller breast. That way, both the chicken you're making doesn't have like a ton to bite through, more sauce can get into the chicken. Um, if that makes sense. Let me change my gloves since I do need to get olive oil out. Mm-hmm. That olive oil. Just drizzle a little bit of it in the pan. I'm not exactly going to be breading the chicken, but sort of sure it's all played out. We're going to uh, dip it in some flour so that it can have a nice crust. That's mainly what we're looking for here. Just gonna not fry, but like definitely cook that a bit. Just leave it in there. Dip it in the flour. Get it all covered. Take off any excess. And something I did was I made sure to season the flour. The recipe I have doesn't say to do that at all, but like I don't exactly I don't really care for like if it's gonna be there to add like texture and such, don't really see a reason not to do it. Since it's like not that big a deal. Yeah. It is now. Just have to wait for it to cook now. Definitely the most cooking part of the recipe is just waiting for it to cook, keeping an eye on it, letting it get a nice flavor, not flavor, but crust on it. Because that crust will also get left in the pan as like a bond, and that will add flavor to the sauce. Also, I'm trying to use gloves with this just because, well, part of it is that I don't exactly want to show my hands for reasons, and also just because it's a lot easier to just throw off some gloves, throw on some gloves, throw them off. Then needing to take off your gloves, wash your like handle chicken, handle vegetables, handle whatever, wash your hands, handle something else, wash them again. But yeah, that's my idea. Yeah. Also, another idea, another tip is with working in a kitchen is think about when something is in a pan, what are you going to do when you take it out? If something's in the oven and it's baking, where do you have that you can just like where can you put it? Do you have like hot pads out? Do you have a place you can safely put it? Is the counter whatever crowded? If you have something in a pan that you're going to take and put somewhere else, do you have a landing spot to put it somewhere? Like I have this plate since I have like 4 pieces of chicken that I'm going to take out and then put it into a sauce and all those veggies once it's done. So I don't want to have it just sitting there for too long. I need somewhere to put it. I mean, yeah. Yeah, and this chicken doesn't need to be too browned. Um, like I've been saying, just need a good crust on it, and then the rest of the cooking will be a simmering or sort of braising on top of the veggies and sauce. Mm-hmm. 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 Gonna flip it a bit. No, it's not the best to like. You want to leave meat when it's trying to build up a crust in the pan, but I just like need something to do since I'm literally just standing here. I guess I could check out. Yep, that's still good. Just walking to the other monitor. My setup is a little weird right now where like I have two monitors like on two sides of my PC. One is like on a desk or like a stand right now by my kitchen so that I can like monitor the stream. The other is like all the way around the corner of my kitchen. Like on the other, there's a wall that my kitchen is against, and then on the other side of it is my PC and monitor. So like that's what my setup is right now. Yeah, getting there, getting there. Nice. Probably want to go a bit deeper than this. Definitely get more of a golden brown color than just like just barely on there. Getting there on that side. Barely getting there on that side. Definitely think this one's gonna get done first, and then this one you need to sit a while so I can get another one of those in. Just keep it rolling. Mm, no, I'll keep it there. That's pretty good. Wouldn't want to do like all four chicken breasts at once because that would definitely crowd the pan. As I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's definitely steam coming off of the chicken breasts because they obviously have water in them, as I obviously know. If I put too many in there, that steam would just like cover up the entire pan and wouldn't be able to escape. And as a result, it would be like they wouldn't get as much basically be steaming them almost. This one's almost done, like perfect. Got plenty of golden brown and even a little bit of darker spots. But I'm gonna worry about getting that other side done before I move it off. Swirling around the oil. That one can go a bit longer. That side's probably good. Probably just an uneven shape means that it's not going to get as much color. Yeah, like on here, it's very like craggly, so it'd be very hard to get a like perfect even color across its entire thing. And sort of press it to get sort of some of it, add some pressure to get on it. But yeah, I think that one will be done. This one, let me wait. Let me try and see where I can get it before I get those other two, because that way I don't have to worry about like having to. I can just like switch off gloves once instead of having to worry about like going in and out all the time. Oh yeah, that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Okay, back to this. Going to be another chicken breast. Sort of unfold it so that all the parts will get evenly floured. Mm-hmm. It'll spill flour all over the place, but that's fine. That is fine. And one more. Oh, there's a pocket here. Definitely want to get that unfolded and floured just so that way, you know, it gets even. And you might think this flour is still good for something or whatever. Just dump it in the trash. It's got chicken stuff all over it. It might be good, like flouring chicken for crusts, or even just like frying can be very tenuous because it's not very doesn't always cover it evenly. Might get way too much flour than what you need. But that's just how it is a lot of the time. Getting on some new gloves because I'm gonna handle that chicken. Will this be enough? No. I'll just get that large one. Yeah, just gonna take these chicken breasts and throw them in a baggie since I can't reseal those containers I had. Also good to just clean as you go. So you know, if you have Jesus Christ, that's everywhere. If you have a, like measuring cups or bowls or just like grime or whatever that you have left over from cooking that you can get at like immediately, go ahead and deal with it. So that way it isn't so as much of a it isn't in the way. And also so that way you can well shit. Just dropped on those on. Gonna have to wash them. Okay. Just so that way you don't have to like have them in the way where you're trying to work. Or that way it's not getting on anything else. You know? Okay. Move this over here. You can see. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to scrub the whole area because that went everywhere. Hey, that's good crust. That one there. Yep. Pull that over, or push that over. Hmm, 12 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Seems like might be taking probably that grease. I mean not grease, olive oil probably got picked up and this might be taking a little longer to get the chicken. Cooked. Results. But that's fine. Oh, you realize that. Just read the actual recipe and I realized I did something wrong the first time. gonna pull this out for later for the side. Yep, there's good color. Now I just need to get the other side. Um, getting there. Getting there. Almost, almost. Yeah, I'm gonna call that good. And again, you might be able to see that this is pretty pink on the top here, but that's fine. It's gonna be simmering in the liquid for a while, so don't worry about it. Okay, then we're going to saute our veggies. Just throw them in there. And don't need to worry about adding like extra oil or anything. Um, the onions and the mushrooms both have a good amount of water in them, so they'll just need to like saute a bit. And they'll release their own water. They won't like need to, you won't need to keep them from sticking. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Just lost the mushroom. Yeah. Definitely, you can do this in a larger like pot. Um, like a sauce, not a sauce pot, but like a wider pot. Definitely might work because you're having the simmer stuff. A high boiled pan will work well enough to get this. Just need to be like careful not to like stir it heavily and forcefully. Try to go around and knock off some of that bond. Add a bit of that flavor. The sauce will definitely add and help with that, but you don't need to worry too much about adding it. About like scraping off. It'll get off on its own. If you can't do it. Yeah, this is just gonna cook for a few minutes. Yep, like I said, there's plenty of steam and even like water from the mushrooms and onions that they aren't really even sticking. I'm sure you can even see like there's plenty of steam coming off of this. Even you don't need to worry too much about needing to add more oil. It's also a very like simple sort of dish. Just like chop up some onions, chop up some mushrooms, just throw in some like condiments you have from the fridge probably. Um Throw in some chicken and it's done. You all want to do a side since there is no like carb in this dish or bread. Starch, that's the word, starch. But that is you kind of decide. You might want to serve just some like bread with this. You might want to do some rice. I had rice last time. I didn't exactly enjoy it that much, especially when I'm having to eat this stuff like 4 nights in a row. So let's see. I think that might be good. I think that's good enough. Sort of translucent. Well, not translucent, but it's definitely a bit browned, releasing some of its water. Not burnt or anything. But yeah, definitely tender, I would say. Yeah, but it's tender. So, going to add the sauce at this point. Add add it all in. It might not seem like that much sauce to like coat like all these onions and mushrooms and also the chicken, but like trust me, it'll be enough because mushrooms and onions are releasing oil or like releasing water into the sauce. Chicken will also do that. So don't worry. And also, it's mostly just a sauce. Aren't trying to like completely coat and like submerge the chicken here. Just gonna set that there. And then I am going to set it out. Try and bring it to a boil. Um, oh, it's already going. Yeah, I'm going to make a side, or start the side, which I'm going to do mac and cheese just because, like, I think the cheese, working with that sort of mustard sauce, it'll definitely cut through it. Be a nice combination, that sort of richness. Different sort of richnesses, uh, combined with the chicken, you know? And bring that on high. I'm not gonna make like an amazing cheese sauce or whatever and shred my own cheese and all that. I'm just making Annie's. Um I chose Annie's because it has smaller portions, which is nice when you're like feeding yourself. You don't aren't eating an entire box of mac and cheese. And also it has a little rabbit on it. So like naturally it's amazing. Um and then now that this is back to boiling, can add that in, sort of work it into the sauce. And there. It's gonna, and then definitely want to make sure get the juices from the chicken that we're dripping off. Then you're going to simmer until uncovered. I'm going to turn it down, actually. Bring it down to a simmer. And you're going to cook that uncovered for 12 to 15 minutes or until the chicken is 165. So about, yeah, 12 to 15 minutes. I am just going to set a timer while that macaroni gets to a boil. Also, nice sort of yellow on yellow if you go with the mac and cheese. Not exactly an amazing contrast, but it definitely feels like a pretty consistent, if anything. I'm gonna sneak around and with olive oil. And I don't have a clean cutting board, so I can't really do the thing I wanted. Oh well. Yep. Yeah, that's on high. Hmm. Yep, just waiting at this point, letting it cook. I'm gonna have to just, yeah. Also, as I'm sure you can tell, the sort of sauce, because it's simmering and also thicken up along with cooking the chicken, it'll stew that sort of the mushrooms and onions. It is pretty nice. Take my gloves off one more time. I am actually going to switch off from that to here, since we're just going to be sitting here for a while. Yeah, so that way I can check stuff and not have to be worried about just leaving a screen that is just like that for, oops, sorry, that is just like that for a while. Hmm. I'll go one stream without coughing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, part of the reason I found this recipe, was that I kind of didn't know what to cook one day, and I've got given a cookbook. So it was just like, fuck it. This sounds good. I'll make it. Definitely one thing I would recommend. Cookbooks are always good. You might think, oh, when am I ever going to need this? But it's like, if you want to make something, but just don't ever have, um, but don't ever have like a specific idea of what you want, just flipping through a cookbook is always good. um, not really much else to think about or work on. Um, once you get that side done, it's basically done. Mac and cheese will probably be done around the same time. Well, no, looks like it isn't. This fucking water boil? Hello? I put it on high. Come on, bro. Come on. Dumbass pot. Blow the fucking water already. Gonna shake it a little bit. Looks like the top is getting a little dry. Is that boiling? I'm gonna say that's boiling. Okay, so it's gonna be about 3 or 4 minutes after that gets done. No, 6 to 8 minutes. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Going to switch back. Oh, wait. Let me. Set it to be. Oh no, it doesn't really matter. There we go. Move it over a little bit so that you can see at least a little. Turn it over a little bit more. Focus more on the stovetop. got the lid for this um pan out, but it didn't pan out. I didn't actually need it. So, yeah, that's whatever. Well, no, I will need it because I'll need it to keep it warm, the chicken warm. Okay, one more minute on the chicken. Should be done. It's been simmering for like a while. And it's gonna have a bit more time to simmer. As I work on this side. And definitely another thing is think about cook times and like when stuff is going to be cooking. And when stuff is gonna be done. Think about like when you have breaks, and when you can like start and stop things. Cause you never you might think like, oh, it's not gonna take that long to cook this, but then I also gotta cook this. It's like think about when you can start and stop so that way in the future, um think about when you can start and stop so that way when you are cooking, you can get things done about the right time. Yep, that's the timer. So, okay. Think about when think about when things are done so that way you can have them finish around a similar time. I'm going to turn that down to just warming, and then I'm going to throw this on so that way it doesn't really cook much more. Kitchen timer, or nope. Kitchen timer, nope. Kitchen timer, 0 to 2 minutes. Just jostling the pasta so that it doesn't stick or anything. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's like just how I do things, but I would say making macaroni and cheese and it isn't exactly like rocket science. It's just like milk, butter, and cheese. I usually throw in a slice of like American cheese. Just so that way it has like some extra actual like cheesy flavor other than um just the packet they give you, you know? Okay, there we go. Turn that down. Drain off the cheese. Get a bit of butter. Probably not enough. Might just get a tiny bit more. Throw that in the pan. Splash milk. Cheese sauce. Mix that all up. Not exactly great sauce, but that's what you get for buying like dollar packages of mac and cheese. But like also, if you've ever met a professional cook, this is probably like just straight mac and cheese, boxed mac and cheese is probably something they eat on the regular. I've heard of multiple different cooks just like not eating the best. Um like they might cook, be an amazing cook, but they might also work at a restaurant that is very demanding. So the last thing they want to do is spend all day making very precise, like tenuous meals for like 8 hours, and then come home and do that for themselves. I'm not saying all cooks are like this. Some cooks will have like amazing diets because they also have some knowledge on nutrition or just want to keep an eye on that and are willing to put in the work. And a lot of cooking doesn't need to be like masterful to be good. There's a lot of, I mean, just this recipe, it's not like amazing, like precise measurements, micro gastronomy shit. But it's also just like I could also have heated up some chicken nuggets or chicken strips in the air fryer and also made some mac and cheese and had honey mustard sauce on the side and said, yeah, that's honey mustard chicken with a side of mac and cheese. I took a bit like an hour of work, an hour of extra work, and this is the result. Get that all mixed up. Okay. And then I got that. Gonna use a different spatulas for different stuff because I don't want to like mix the flavors unintentionally. Okay, so now to plating. I do not have a clean cutting board, so I can't exactly do the stuff I would want to do for the plating, but that's fine. Um, take off this lid, and then grab a piece of the chicken that has been braising in that sauce. Put it on the plate. Um, might want to do it towards the middle. Doesn't really matter. If you're doing this at home, that's a whole nother lesson. Grab a bit of that sauce, veggies, try and scoop a bit of it on top best you can. Like that. Just to get something like that. Normally, if I had a clean cutting board, I would I'll leave that for the rest. I think this will be enough. And a little bit. Normally, I would cut the chicken into like strips, so that way looks nicer, has a bit more contrast with the sort of white uh, meat. Um, but I don't have that, and I don't have the time to cook or clean the cutting board again, so it's going to be whatever. But that's fine. Then get a bit of this mac and cheese. Get it on the side there. Plate it with the chicken. There's a bit of emphasis to present the chicken. And let me clean off the plate. Get a wet paper towel for the presentation. Probably could have pushed the chicken back a bit, but that is fine. This is honey mustard chicken with a side of macaroni and cheese. Yep. Very good portions with this. Just going to, since this is going to be basically my dinner, going to at least try it. Take off my mask. Sure. Yep, my well, mic is fine. Yep. Okay. Yeah, just checking stuff. Chicken, nice and tender, plenty juicy since it's been braising. That nice mustard sauce goes well. It's honey mustard, so it isn't too sweet, it isn't too sour. And if you have a bit of it with the macaroni, definitely gives it a bit of nice richness that goes very well with the chicken. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. 100%. If you are doing something like a date night and you want to cook for your partner or something like that, I would totally recommend this as it isn't too hard, but you can have a great result. The one thing I would say, definitely season the flour and also maybe throw in some salt, some extra salt for the sauce or the chicken. Both times I've made this now, it just kind of needs it. But yeah, that is honey mustard chicken. Let me try and pull in towards it. That is honey mustard chicken. A little, it's a little not exactly the best presentation. It's definitely stewed veggies on top of chicken breast. Isn't exactly the prettiest, but will it taste good? Hell yeah, it will. Yeah. Hope that you enjoyed the stream, and hope that if in the future I'll be able to post recipes beforehand, so that if you want to cook with me, you'll be able to. And that was the first stream of Cooking with Gestalt. I've definitely wanted to do something like this for a bit. Since I am a professional cook and don't exactly think there's a lot of YouTubers who use their sort of cooking either experience or just there aren't a lot of YouTubers who are cooks in general. But maybe that'll change. Um, Definitely think if you aren't that experienced in cooking yourself, you should definitely try, at least. Try to follow simple recipes, maybe listen to a few tips. Try to get, um, try to get out there and try it. You don't need to be an amazing Michelin star chef, but like, it's a good skill to have because you never know when it'll come in useful. Oh, yep. My name has been Colin Gestalt, and I hope that uh you have a good night. Tomorrow we'll be doing the demo for Tokyo Psychodemic, and then the day after that we'll be doing the Anno Mutation. I'm continuing that. Hope you will join me for that if any of that interests you, and I hope that you have a good night. Let's go ahead and raid another streamer. Mm, mm. But yeah, this guy is cooking. You go ahead and make actually pull up with my headphones so that I can see what he's saying before I start anything. Oh shit, I'm not. No, yeah, I'm gonna trust in it. Yeah, let's rate him. Yep, and go ahead and gonna rate him. Well, no, wait. Actually, no, I just have one viewer. Well, I'm not gonna raid on that. But anyway, hope you had a good time. Bye.